and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and today I am doing the VaLITines tag. This tag was created by Novel Serendipity and it is to go along with the VaLITines readathon, which is going all February long, and I am really enjoying it so far. I have actually been a really good reading place lately and have read so many books already and have checked off so many of the 25 prompts. The only ones I haven't finished yet are ones that I'm saving for the Demonathon, which is taking place from the 14th to the 28th. And so right now I'm just shoveling in some extra reads and really enjoying them. So you're gonna have a lot of book reviews coming in March. But anyway, this tag is all about love for books and love for the bookish community. So the first prompt is, show your love for the books. What is your favorite book of all time or your favorite book from 2019? And we'll start with favorite book from 2019 because that's a little easier. Favorite book of all time is a little bit of a hard question for most people, I think. But for 2019, my favorite was Heart's Blood by Juliet Marillier. I raved about this when I first read it, and also I think when I reread it for the Snowathon right after I got it for Christmas. It's a super creative Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I like Beauty and the Beast retellings in general. This one specifically handles a lot of issues in a really sweet and wonderful way, and I really appreciate that. Also, the main character is a scribe, and those are some of my favorite people, being a writer myself. And the whole reason she is in the Beast's castle is to transcribe his Latin scripts into, I think, Irish is what she's translating them to. So that's just a really, really, really cool concept for a bookish person to read a book about. Somebody transcribing a library. Of all time, I can't really pick one because they would have to be series, because I don't like standalones nearly as much as I like series, because I don't feel like you have enough time to get to know the characters or the world that they're in. And so my favorite series are the Del Toro series there, the Fairyland series there, and the J.D. Robb's In Death series, which is mostly on Kindle. Although I might put in a little shot of our J.D. Robb bookshelf because we do have a number of her paperbacks that we got for cheap. And my favorites of those, when I do a full J.D. Robb episode, I'll have to pick out some of my favorites of the whole series. But my favorite of these series tends to be the final ones because you get the happy endings in this one, and the reason the J.D. Robb's series doesn't have a happy ending yet is because it's not done. She just keeps writing them. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Second prompt is Longtime Crush. What is a book that you have been ogling but haven't picked up yet? For that, I'm going to pick one of the books that I'm about to read for the Demonathon, and that is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I've been wanting this ever since I heard it was going to be a thing after I read Uprooted, but I just haven't picked it up because at first there was a really long wait at the library, and then I was just like, I don't know, wanting to get other things read and feeling like this would be spoiling myself to read this instead of other things. I don't know. Sometimes my thoughts about books just don't make much sense. But now, because one of the prompts for the Demonathon was to read something indulgent, I have decided to finally indulge myself and read this, and I'm so excited about it. In addition to just having high expectations for Naomi Novik, I have also heard really good things about this specifically. Next is Not My Type. What is a book that you liked even though it is not in your comfort zone? Also, sorry about the lighting changes during this video. It's a sunny day, but the sun is like going down, so it's moving. So that's just gonna happen during this video. I recently did a whole video that was just about books that I have liked even though they were outside my comfort zone, and the only reason I read them was because other booktubers recommended them to me. So I'll link that below. But besides those, one that I read last year was The Golden One by Elizabeth Peters, and that was out of my comfort zone because it was historical fiction, and I pretty much never read historical fiction. I like fantasy. I like books with magic in. I read that back in November and loved it, but it was like the 9th book in the series, and so this month I have been reading Crocodile and the Sandbank, which is the first book in the series, and it had me cackling. The main character is so not just spunky, but she's very strong-willed and very bossy, and she's also very knowledgeable. She kind of has a right to be bossy because she tends to get things done better that way when other people are standing around not getting done things that need to get done. And she has a love interest who is also very bossy and is usually pretty knowledgeable and is used to being the smartest person in the room or even the country, and so when he comes up against her, it is really funny, the conversations that they have, because suddenly he's not the smartest person anymore, nor the bossiest. But I was very surprised to enjoy historical fiction this much, and I am very excited to continue on with this series. Next prompt is love at first sight. What's the book you got for the cover, and if you read it, did it live up to expectations? And if you haven't read it, what are your expectations? And for that, I'm going to use the same book that I'm using for that VaLITines prompt, and that is The Magic Thief Lost by Prineas. And I was looking through all of my shelf of unread library sale haul books, because most of those are cover buys, and I kept finding ones that were sequels or the third or fifth book in a series, and so I finally found this one that I thought was the first book of a series, but no, it's the second book. But fortunately, things were explained well enough and characters were redescribed well enough that I wasn't confused, and you don't have to read the first book first. So at some point I'm going to read the actual first book of this series as well as the next book, because there's at least one more, and that is because I really enjoyed this. I bought it for the little orb and the salamander and the wizardy looking people and the young protagonist, and how this cover looks like a old magic-y book, and it's got a nice spine too. It's got those ruffled edges, and I also believe I saw that there are illustrations, and let me show you my favorite one if I can find it. There's my favorite illustration, and this is my favorite character. She is our protagonist's best friend, and she is a duchess's daughter, because in this country or place, the land is divided up into duchies, and each duchy has a main town, and so she is the daughter of the local duchess, and she learns sword fighting. There's also a female sword fighting captain, and several of the other guards are female, and I just really like that and appreciate that. But I will tell you more about this in my VaLITines/February wrap-up, so look forward to that. The next prompt is One Man's Trash. What is a book you've seen bad reviews for but that you personally treasure? And for that, I'll tell you that the one I'm using for this prompt in the readathon is Howl's Moving Castle, because I've seen several people not like it because the plot is totally all over the place, and that's totally understandable. It is all over the place. I just happen to like that type of plot structure. And also this series, these ones, people have strong feelings either way. People either love it or really don't like it because the writing's kind of iffy, and there's a distinct lack of not white people in it. Also, distinct lack of not straight people in it. And the plots are also pretty terrible. I read them for the characters. Then we have the community prompts. Love for the booktube community. And so the first one is Sharing is Caring. Who is an individual creator? Can be across platforms like Twitter, Instagram, etc. But who is one who inspires you? And for that I decided to pick two. Claudia from Spinster's Library and Kara from Wild Book Garden, because they're quite different, but they both make really interesting creative videos, and both have inspired me to make different types of videos myself. I especially like Kara's videos where she uses something not bookish to talk about a certain set of books. Like she did a Get Ready With Me makeup look while talking about Beauty and the Beast retellings, and she did one recently that was finding books that went along with the vibes of certain painters' paintings. That was really cool. And Claudia is the one who inspired me to make my reacting to a certain book as I read it video. So I really find them both inspiring and want to make cool and interesting videos like they do. Next is Lift Them Up. Who is an individual creator you want to see grow? And for that I picked Naomi's Bookshelf. She is a fairly small creator, but she has great content and she comes up with lots of ideas and does lots of tags. She's very community oriented and she reads a pretty wide variety of books. Then we have interestingly phrased question, which is what if another creator or viewer of booktube / consumer of book web stuff asked you who they should follow if they felt like they wanted to diversify who they were following. And so I picked Blaine from the Starlight System channel. She has dissociative identity disorder. She actually made a whole series on it like a year ago, I think, and she's also a booktuber, and she left off uploading for a while, but she is back now and making lots of content, and I think it's really cool to watch various neurodivergent people. Then we have love for the book community. What is your favorite part of the online bookish community? And for that, I think my most favorite thing is how much better my reading has been since engaging with the online community, because from what people say about it, I'm much better able to find books that I will enjoy rather than what a publisher says about it, because a publisher obviously has an agenda and wants it to sell and is trying to cater to a certain audience, whereas another reader wants to help you find what you will like and doesn't have the motivation of wanting you to read this certain book. So I really appreciate how many more good reads I've been able to find because of the people online. And I also really appreciate how sweet and lovely everyone is. People really like to support each other in the book community and are really supportive of people who are different from each other and people who have different bookish taste. Obviously there are also a lot of people who are not nice, but I'm pretty good at culling the people I follow. So I tend not to run into a lot of negativity. If people are super negative, I just cut them off, and then I don't have to deal with that anymore, and I just get to hang out with the fun, happy, positive people. So I'm pretty happy with the bookish community. I guess this is a tag, so I have to tag people. I'll tag everyone I mentioned, including Kara if she wants to, even though I just tagged her in another in another tag. But the people I mentioned, as well as anyone who would like to do this tag or who would like to get involved with a readathon. It's a really cool readathon. This tag basically just picks out several prompts from the readathon bingo board and has you just answer those specifically. If you're feeling like not taking on the whole readathon, this is more of a little digestible thing. I think it's a really fun way to just dip your toes in if the whole readathon is a bit much. Happy late Valentine's Day. I think this is coming out on the 17th. I hope you had a good time, whether you are mainly a platonic based person or are in possession of a romantic relationship at the moment. I pretty much celebrate Valentine's platonically, but I still really enjoy it and obviously really enjoy decorating. I'm definitely going to go to some post-Valentine's decor sales on the 15th and I'm gonna have a good time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!